Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a new It's Lit. It's Dalck. It's a new lesson, and today we're going to see the world has 100 people, right? This is an infographic. This is a completely different type of text that we're going to be analyzing this time by Mr. Jack Hagley. Let's get down to business. This is what's coming up. Now, quick start. This is how we start this lesson. You can be classified in a wide range of groups. How come? Teenagers, Americans, athletes, people who live in suburbs, etc. There are literally tens or hundreds of different categories in which we can be classified. Now, let's brainstorm all the different ways that we can statistically classify world population. We're going to do that in class. Now we're going to continue with the next part. How can we classify population? Here are some examples. Demographically, geographically, personally. We are going to interpret graphics as our first activity in this class. All right? The first thing that we gotta know is the elements of this specific genre, which are infographics. They, number one, provide numerical information, statistical information, and because of that, they use visual representation. You can see like statistical graphics, like the round thing, or the bar graphics, or there are many different types of visual representation for statistics. And also they combine elements of charts, text, images, photos, pictures, etc., etc., in order to make the information clearer for the reader or the person who is actually receiving that information. Now, graphics can sometimes communicate information even more clearly than words. That's why sometimes an image is worth 1,000 words. Texts often include one or more of the following types of graphics we're going to see. The different types of graphics that we can find in this type of text is, number one, tables. Okay? These are large amounts of data organized in a logical order that makes it easier for the reader to see and understand the data. It's like, okay, this is the column, this is this is it. So basically, when you have huge amounts of information and you want to go and consult where something specifically is, you can use tables in order to organize all of that. Number two, graphs. Two-dimensional representations of data that help the reader understand the relationships among the data. All right? So we have always seen them. We have seen all of them. It's like this thing that has like percents or percentages and how long is it, how high it is, or a graph or a graphical representation of statistics. Photographs and drawings, visual illustrations of a topic discussed in a text that can show details that are difficult to explain in words. Again, I will say it, one image is worth 1,000 words. Sometimes it's difficult to describe a setting, it's difficult to describe a mental image using text. Well, my friends, the best thing to do in that case is to enrich the text with extra textual elements like a photograph or a drawing. Diagrams is the fourth element that is not text that you can find in this type of literature. So illustrations that show the relationship of parts in an object or the steps in a process. Okay, we have always seen like these flow diagrams that show what happens between the stages, or what happens after or before another element or another step in a process. All of that, like organizations, you see what is the relationship between the people that work in an enterprise, for example. So all of those are different types of diagrams. We're going to see that as we read some of the information that we have there. Finally, infographics. It's a combination of charts, text, and images to create a visual that communicates statistical information. Infographics are not only exclusive for statistical information. You can use it to actually present any different type of topic that you want, as long as it is well organized and well distributed in the way that it is shown. It has a lot to do with details, it has a lot to do with design and everything that you can present or not, and what is the most important information in terms of how big or how small text or images are going to be. That's basically what we're going to be doing. We are going to analyze infographics for this selection, okay? Analyze also within the infographics as the type of text that we're going to be analyzing. We're going to analyze the motifs, all right? Even though graphics present objective data, the creators of graphics make choices about how to present that information. Designers may choose to include or exclude certain types of data based on the point they hope to make and the overall purpose of the graphic. For example, the creator of the infographic "The World Was 100 People," which is the one that we're going to be reading and analyzing, they chose to include data about age, religion, and literacy, but they did not include data about car ownership or the different types of employment. Why? Well, we might be answering those questions as we read and as we analyze. When we examine "The World as 100 People," think about why the designer chose to include each category and how doing so serves the purposes of the graphic. Here's an example of how you can annotate your ideas as we analyze these infographics, which is a big image that we're going to be doing in class. This is how you might do some of the annotations to analyze the motifs. You see, in this case, we're going to focus on water, that little section about water, who has availability to clean water and who doesn't in the world. So if you see, like, okay, the title is water, that means that the infographic is telling me that out of every 100 people, only 87 of them have safe drinking water and 13 of them do not. If you check on the other two commentaries, you can see that if 87 have safe water, that means that 13 out of every 100 people have to spend time and energy getting safe water to drink, and time and energy that they can't use for work or gather food. It doesn't mean that they don't have it. It means that it's not available as easy as the other 87. On the other hand, you can see when you point out that 13 of them do not have safe water, this data matters because access to clean drinking water is completely necessary for life. So you can come up with these type of conclusions. Again, even though the graphics are objective, your opinions will always be subjective, and anything you annotate or you analyze from the information that you get there will be also subjective because it's going to be your opinion. All right? For now, those are the elements that we're going to be analyzing with these infographics. Let's go back a little bit and we're going to check. Number one, analyzing the type of graphic that we have. Okay, we're going to interpret them in terms of what they mean and what is the purpose. Again, classify it. Number two, analyzing what are the motifs the representations or the motifs that the creators want to share and want to express with them. We're going to use this annotation model for each of the categories. And of course, with that, we are going to have our lesson ready. Thank you very much for joining me today. I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notifications. I'll see you very soon.